He was at a very sad place in his life when we got together. And he didn't have a lot to laugh about. He was carrying around just tons of burden.
God put things in my place. I didn't do it well. I'm back on the track that I was raised to do, the way that I was supposed to live. I got away from it. He's given me another chance. This is my chance.
Life doesn't always begin when we are born, nor does death only occur at our end. Kermit Alexander was an All-American defensive back for the Bruins in the early 60s. He would play 11 seasons in the NFL, 2 with his hometown Rams. His storybook life, however, spun tragic one early morning in 1984 when a kid, sent by one gang to retaliate against another, entered the wrong address and murdered Kermit's mother, his sister, and 2 of his nephews. Unable to protect his family, guilt consumed Kermit. Then in 1998, Kermit met a beautiful smile. Her name was Tammy, and she was everything he wasn't: happy. They fell in love and lived together for 9 years. But his inability to find closure from the tragedy created an emotional wall too tall for Tammy to climb. Then a moment of discovery changed everything.
I said, look what I found in my life today, God, and he's like, great, and I'm out of here. And so he accused me of changing the rules, and that kind of hurt both of us.
The two split up. Then, in the spring of 2003, while on a humanitarian mission to Haiti, a bright-faced 5-year-old with a frail body threw himself into Tammy's arms when she entered the Mission of Hope orphanage near Port-au-Prince. His name was Clifton. He called her Mom. Back in the States, Kermit was lost. It had been almost 3 years since he left Tammy and moved to Oklahoma. But a life without purpose is not a life at all, he thought to himself. He returned to California, vowing things would be different. He couldn't have imagined what was in store.
When Kermit asked me to marry him, I said no, and he thought I had just flipped. He goes, you've waited 13 years for me to say that. What in the world is wrong with you? And I said, I met a little boy in Haiti. And I said, let me make a deal for you. If I take you to Haiti, and this is what you think God would want you to do, and what you want in your life, then ask me at another time. And if it's not for you, then fine, I'm okay with that. And so I took him to Haiti in September, and by October he had proposed and decided that that's what he wanted. He wanted to be a part of whatever was happening in Haiti.
My 2 children had grown up and gone on to their own life, so I was wandering around here by myself, and the feeling was unnatural. It was comforting when we went to Haiti and I saw the need and understood that we could do something about it. That brought me right back home.
The two set forth to adopt Clifton and visited him 15 times as the paperwork crawled through the bureaucracy of the third world country. On one such trip in 2005, they noticed something different.
We went to the orphanage and Clifton was talking to these little kids. So we were like, hey, Clifton, introduce us to your friends. And he goes, oh, these aren't my friends. This is my brother and sisters. And Kermit and I looked at each other like we were just, what? Serious? I remember Jameson had come up and tugged me on the shoulder and he says, could I have a photo of Clifton? And I said, well, sure, okay. Why do you want a photo of Clifton? And he says, because you're going to take him to America and I'm never going to see him again. I just dropped my hands and I looked up at Kermit, who had 2 or 3 kids hanging on him, and I had, several kids hanging on me. I said, I can't do this. I can't come back here anymore and do this. And he says, it's beyond what God has asked me to do. I think I misunderstood. It's time for me to go home. He goes, then we take them all. And I just look at him like, take them all? Like all 5? And he says, we take them all.
4 additional adoption applications only added to the wait, but they continued to visit, providing food, clothes, and schooling. Then Kermit's world was rocked to the core once more.
I was stuck in traffic. I was just coming back from an event. I couldn't comprehend what I had just heard.
A major disaster may be unfolding
Haiti,
right
the
now.
poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, has been hit by a major earthquake.
An earthquake just happened, and many people
screaming and cries for help.
The war is coming to an end!
And please tell the world Haiti needs them right now.
Are my children even alive? I stopped breathing. So I got Kermit on the phone. I just told him, I said, Kermit, turn on CNN. I said that Haiti's just had an earthquake. I couldn't breathe. And so we didn't know what had happened to them for a long time. And finally, I got a hold of a friend of mine who was just incredible. A couple of hours later, he called back and he says, I got a hold of some friends of ours that live down the street from where the kids were, and they said they're alive. And Kermit and I were in this living room. We just hit the floor.
The U.S. government began to expedite Haitian adoptions until rumors of child trafficking surfaced. Tammy worked the phones. A few days passed when a call came saying, "Get to Florida. Your children are on their way."
Indeed, it's a day long in coming. The parents are beaming with joy, and the children, all brothers and sisters, are happy to be out of Haiti and starting a new life.
When we saw the kids, it was unbelievable. Jameson yelled out, "There's Dad. There's Dad." And Kermit just broke. And all the kids just surrounded us like we had been, the cavalry was here. So it was amazing.
And every time we visited with him, we had to leave him there and say, we'll be back for you. We don't have to say we'll be back anymore.
It's closing in on 2 years since the tragedy, which left hundreds of thousands dead or homeless in Haiti. But sprung from the rubble is a new family. Kermit is 71 years young, now that he has Clifton, Jameson, Zachary, Semphia, and Manushka to share life with.
It's given me a new lease on life. I'm watching children see faith blossom into reality. I'm watching children see that they have a future that encompasses everything. To see them have a chance to envision their future where before it was the next meal. It's exhilarating because it gives me a chance to live my life fully. It gives me a chance to give everything that I know to these children to use it to live their life. Prior to them coming, I didn't quite know where I fit. I was raised in a family. I was always had responsibility. I was always willing to share and do things. Suddenly I was by myself because of what had happened to my family. And so now I'm back over that. We've grieved through it. We've reached a point in our lives where we can see the future, and my future is theirs. Because without them, I truly believe I would not live very long.